our reporter Raquel Muigai. Thank you so much for joining us here on News Center. So maybe you can just give us the agenda. What was the agenda of today's meeting as it comes to an end, and also some of the resolutions that have come about it?
Thank you so much, Betty. We're here at the Jamia Conference Center in Limuru, actually, for the final day of the NCCK religious leaders, clergymen and elders from within Nairobi. And today is actually the third and final day. Yesterday, we were joined by IBC Chair Wafula Chebukati, who was able to brief the religious leaders and actually tell them about what IBC has planned as we get towards the coming elections. And some of the issues that he actually spoke, that he actually touched upon were the issue of parallel tallying that had been earlier stated by opposition leader Raila Odinga. And he stated that IBC is the only mandated institution to carry out the elections and actually announce the tallying and the results. Carry out the tallying and announce the results. He also spoke on the security issue, stating that 85,000 officers have actually been trained or are on training to ensure that peace prevails during the 2017 general elections. So today, the religious leaders are actually trying to come up with strategies actually and identify threats during this coming elections and be able to actually know how they're going to implement these strategies as they go back to the constituencies.
We understand that apart from the religious leaders and other stakeholders, that also there are elders from different communities who are also part of the meeting. So who exactly are these elders, and which communities did they represent? Was it tribal, or was it residential, regional? What was exactly the composition of these elders?
These elders come from within the 17 constituencies of Nairobi County. And earlier yesterday, the NCCK Secretary General, that is Peter Karanja, had actually stated that Nairobi, being a cosmopolitan city, represents some of the major tribes and actually different tribes. And if not all of them, but some of these tribes are actually found within Nairobi. And therefore, they believe that being able to bring these tribes together will actually be a direct representation of probably what might happen down at the grassroots level. So these clergymen from within Nairobi constituency come from the 17 constituencies actually, and they come from the different tribes, Kikuyu, Kamba, name it. And they're actually going to identify the threats and be able to come up with strategies so that when they go back to their constituencies, they'll be able to know how to implement the strategies and ensure that actually peaceful elections are experienced during the August 8th polls.
Start with Nairobi. Is it something that's going to be done across the country, or is it just Nairobi? Why did they decide to start with Nairobi, Raquel?
They actually decided to start with Nairobi, Betty, because Nairobi happens to be, you can be able to find all tribes within Nairobi because it's actually a cosmopolitan city, as I had earlier said. And therefore, they believe that having to have these people just congregate in one meeting will actually be efficient and effective in trying to spread the message of peace within the constituencies that are within here, as well as back to the grassroots level.
Finally, Raquel, let's talk about the presence of IBC Chair Wafula Chebukati. He was there yesterday. What kind of submissions did he make before all the parties that were present in regards to preparations for the election?
For the preparation of the election, actually, he talked on the security, and he mentioned that security has actually is something that is actually being figured out, as 85,000 officers are actually being trained to ensure that peace prevails during this period. And he also mentioned that there will be mock elections that will be carried out just 2 months before the due date, and that is the August 8th polls. And he said that these mock elections will not be physical and will not expect to see Kenyans lining up or carrying out the voting as is expected during the August 8th polls, but he actually said that it will involve technical and the transmission to actually see if these machines get to work and how they get to work. Actually, it will be about keying in data as well as just getting to have an overview of how the transmission is.
All right, thank you very much, Raquel Muigai, reporting from Limuru, where the 2 or 3 day forum that was of course, organized by the NCCK, has come to an end. They were discussing a number of issues in relation to elections, and especially credible and peaceful elections. So we want to take a break here on News Center, and we'll be coming back in a few minutes. So join us then.